Gentlemen, look down. What is on your feet right now? For most men over 50, the footwear situation is a tragedy. We see clunky, square-toed relics from the 1990s that make you look like a tired commuter. Or worse, neon running sneakers that scream midlife crisis. It does not matter if your shirt is bespoke or your watch is vintage Rolex. If your foundation is weak, the entire house collapses. They say you can judge a man by his shoes, and right now, the verdict is not good. It is time to stop the accumulation. You do not need a closet full of mediocrity. You need 3 specific tools. Just 3. These are the anchors that will secure your style, elevate your posture, and carry you from the cobblestones of Paris to the boardrooms of New York. Let's clear the floor. Let's walk with purpose. Item 1. The Rover. Let's begin our journey with the cooler months, the transition seasons, and the evenings that demand a sharper edge. Item number 1 is the Rover, the Chelsea boot. This is, without question, the Swiss Army knife of the modern male wardrobe. If you are currently navigating your winters in clunky, lace-up hiking boots that belong on a mountain trail, or stiff dress shoes that punish your ankles, we are making an immediate upgrade. The Chelsea boot has a fascinating lineage. It dates back to the Victorian era, designed originally for walking and horse riding, but it was immortalized in the 1960s by cultural icons like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. It carries a very specific, powerful DNA. It is rebellious, yet refined. It is rock and roll, yet entirely respectable. For the man over 50, this item offers a critical functional advantage that we often overlook: zero friction. It features an elastic side panel and a pull tab at the back, allowing you to slip it on and off in seconds. There are no laces to tie, no knots to come undone, and no need to bend over for 5 minutes in the hallway. As we age, elegance is defined by ease. If it is difficult to put on, it is not luxury. But the true genius of the Rover lies in its silhouette. Because the boot hugs the ankle closely without the bulk of laces, tongues, or buckles, it creates a seamless, unbroken line from your pant leg down to your toe. This is a visual hack. This continuity prevents the eye from getting stuck at your ankle, which visually elongates the leg. It makes you look taller, leaner, and more aerodynamic. Now, regarding materials, you have 2 strategic paths. If you want pure versatility and texture, choose dark chocolate suede. Suede absorbs light. It has a richness and depth that leather lacks. It looks incredible with jeans or chinos and signals that you are relaxed but sophisticated. However, suede fears the rain. If you live in a wet climate, or if you want a boot that can transition into a formal dinner with a charcoal suit, choose black calf leather. It is sharper, sleeker, and projects a London at midnight kind of authority. Finally, a warning on geometry. The biggest mistake men make here is buying a boot with a bulbous, round toe or a chunky, heavy sole. That is a work boot. That belongs on a construction site. You are looking for a sleek almond toe shape, not aggressively pointy like a cowboy boot, but not round like a tennis ball. It should follow the natural curve of the foot. Pair these with your dark denim or your gray wool trousers, throw on a leather jacket or a trench coat, and you immediately subtract 10 years from your appearance. You look ready for anything. Item 2. The gentleman. We move now from the rugged, rain-soaked streets of winter to the sun-drenched terraces of summer. We leave the rock-and-roll edge behind and embrace the art of leisure. Item number 2 is the gentleman, the penny loafer. This is the most dangerous gap in the average man's wardrobe. Most men over 50 understand how to dress for a wedding, lace-ups, and how to dress for the gym, sneakers. But for everything in between, the weekend brunch, the casual Friday, the summer vacation, they fail completely. They default to clumsy sandals or, unforgivably, running shoes worn with trousers. The penny loafer is the bridge. It is the only footwear that can successfully negotiate the divide between formal tailoring and casual relaxation. It possesses a quality the Italians call sprezzatura, a studied carelessness. It says, "I am dressed up, but I am not trying too hard." Unlike the Oxford or the Derby, the loafer has no lacing system. It exposes the ankle. This exposure is critical. It creates visual lightness and airflow, making it the ultimate warm-weather ally. For the man over 50, I want you to look specifically for a classic penny loafer. This is defined by the leather strap across the front with a small slit, where students used to keep a penny for emergency phone calls. Avoid the tassel loafer for now. While stylish, dangling tassels can sometimes lean too far into the dandy territory or look a bit costumey if not styled with absolute precision, the penny is cleaner, more architectural, and timeless. Regarding material, we must prioritize comfort immediately. Stiff, high-shine leather loafers can be brutal to break in. Instead, I recommend unlined suede in a shade of tobacco brown, tan, or snuff. Unlined means the shoe has no internal structure or rigid heel counter. It fits like a glove and feels like a slipper from the very first moment you put it on. There is no pain, only softness. How do you wear this? This is the secret weapon for your off-duty uniform. Pair them with chinos rolled up slightly to show a bit of ankle. Use invisible no-show socks to maintain hygiene without ruining the line. Wear them with your linen trousers or even tailored shorts. The brown suede softens the look, removing the severity of black leather. When you walk into a room in these, you project an air of relaxed confidence. You look like a man who isn't rushing to catch a bus. You are strolling to a lunch that you are paying for. Item 3. The Modernist. We arrive now at the final pillar of your footwear foundation. This is the item that generates the most confusion and the most catastrophic style errors for men of a certain generation. Item number 3 is the Modernist, the minimalist white leather sneaker. Let's first address the traps, because the road here is paved with disasters. Trap number 1 is the dad shoe. These are those complex, mesh-covered running shoes with neon accents and chunky orthopedic soles. They are designed for running marathons, not for drinking espresso. When you wear them with jeans, you look like a confused tourist or a man who has completely surrendered to comfort at the expense of dignity. Trap number 2 is the adolescent fantasy. This involves high-top basketball shoes or limited edition sneakers that look like spaceships. Gentlemen, leave the Air Jordans to the teenagers. Wearing them after 50 does not make you look young. It makes you look like you are in a desperate midlife crisis. The solution is the Minimalist Sneaker. This is a shoe that has been stripped of all branding, all logos, and all unnecessary lines. It is pure geometry. It is architectural. We are looking for a low-top silhouette made from pristine, premium white calf leather. The sole should be flat and moderate, not platformed. When you hold it, it should feel substantial and heavy, like a luxury item, not light and plasticky like gym gear. Why is this essential? Because the world has become casual. The rules have changed. There are moments, walking through an airport, exploring a new city, a Sunday morning drive, where a Chelsea boot is too hot and a loafer feels too delicate. You need agility. The minimalist sneaker signals that you are an active, modern man. It says you prioritize health and movement, but you refuse to sacrifice aesthetics. It is the off-duty look of the architect, the creative director, the man who is still relevant. Maintenance, however, is non-negotiable here. A beat-up pair of leather boots looks rugged and cool. A dirty pair of white sneakers just looks sloppy. You must keep them pristine. Invest in a leather cleaner and wipe them down. The power of this item comes from its brightness. It acts as a highlight at the base of your outfit, much like the white shirt illuminates your face. Pair these with your dark denim and a simple gray t-shirt, or even wear them with a casual navy cotton suit for a look that is daring, contemporary, and incredibly sharp. The Purge. Now that we have established the Holy Trinity, the Rover, the Gentleman, and the Modernist, we must perform a necessary act of violence. We must purge. You cannot build a sanctuary of style if the foundation is cluttered with debris. There are specific items in your current rotation that are actively sabotaging your image. They are not neutral, they are negative. They subtract value from everything else you wear. The first enemy is the square-toe dress shoe. I call this the geometric disaster. If you look into your closet and see shoes with a toe box that ends in a flat, hard line, resembling a duck's bill or a concrete block, you must remove them immediately. These shoes were a momentary lapse of judgment in the late 1990s, yet somehow, they have survived in the closets of men over 50 like a bad habit. Anatomically, your foot is not square. It is curved. When you wear a square toe, you are fighting nature. Visually, these shoes make your feet look short, stubby, and clumsy. They destroy the elegance of your trouser break. They make you look like a pilgrim or a clumsy schoolboy. There is no redemption for this shape. It does not project power. It projects outdated confusion. Replace them with the almond toe or the round toe we discussed. Return to the curve. The second enemy is even more insidious because it disguises itself as a solution. I am speaking of the hybrid, the dress shoe with a running sneaker sole. This is the Frankenstein of footwear. You see them everywhere in the corporate world. A black leather upper that tries to look formal, glued onto a chunky rubber athletic sole that tries to look comfortable. Gentlemen, this is the mullet of shoes. Business on top, a disaster on the bottom. Do not fall for the marketing trap that promises commuter comfort. By trying to be two things at once, this shoe fails at both. It is not dressy enough for a suit, and it is not athletic enough for the gym. It simply screams that you have given up. It signals that you value a tiny margin of comfort over your entire aesthetic dignity. If you need comfort, wear your minimalist sneakers. If you need formality, wear your Chelsea boots or loafers with a proper leather sole, or a discreet day-night rubber sole. Never mix the DNA. Finally, purge the Velcro strap sandal. Unless you are literally walking on the beach or hiking through a river, your toes should not be visible in public. The sports sandal worn with cargo shorts is a look that instantly ages you. It does not look adventurous, it looks geriatric. If it is hot, wear your loafers with invisible socks. Keep the mystery alive. Take a trash bag. Be ruthless. Every pair of shoes you keep should serve a purpose and spark joy. If it is square, hybrid, or held together by Velcro, it is gone. So there you have it. The Rover, the Gentleman, and the Modernist. By reducing your options to these three pillars, you actually increase your power. You eliminate the noise. You no longer have to think about what to wear. You simply know. When you slip on a pair of shoes crafted with intention, it changes your physiology. You stand taller. You walk with a different cadence. You stop shuffling like a man apologizing for his presence, and you start striding like a man who owns the ground beneath him. Clear out the clutter. Invest in the essential. The journey of your next chapter begins with the right foundation. Walk well, gentlemen.